So we are going to be adding a sub-report to our report. And a sub-report is a report within a report. And so we do need to make our detail area a little bigger because that is where the sub-report is going to display. And I'm going to mess around with these controls just a little bit. I'm going to move that over. And we'll move those back just a little bit. And then we're going to display our little sub-report here. So I'm going to click on the More button. You want to make sure that the control wizard is turned on because you need to use the wizard for this. And then you want to select the sub-report command. And instead of clicking, we're actually going to drag so we can control the area that the sub-report displays in. And it's going to be a fairly large area. So we're going to start almost on the left here, just a little bit in. And we are going to go down and all the way across to about the 7-inch mark. Okay, and that is going to display a wizard or a sub-report wizard. And we're going to use existing tables and queries. So we're going to click on Next. And we're going to select the total work order query. And then with that query selected, we're going to move over all of the fields. And then we're going to click on Next. And now it is asking us, would you like to define which fields in your main form, or report in this case, link to the subform? Okay. How do you want to link them together? Now, in order to make the proper selection here, you do need to know how you want your report displayed, because that makes a difference on what you pick. So this first one is saying show work orders for each record using customer ID. Well, we don't want to organize by customer ID. Okay, so that one's out. Show total work orders for each record using the work order. Well, that is what we want to do. Okay, the next one is using parts. The next one is using service date. So option 2 is what we want. So we're going to go ahead and click on Next. And as far as the sub-report name, we'll just keep the default, and we're going to click on Finish. And what you should see is the sub-report displayed, and the text total work order sub-report is displayed right above it. And what we're going to do is kind of click on that little label and delete it. And then we're going to take a look at this. So why don't we hit Save? And we're just going to go right into Report View. And so we can see we've got the work order, and then we've got a corresponding information based on that order. And that is what we said we wanted. And now that we've verified that these are linked properly, so we can see the work orders match, we're going to go back into Design View. And we're going to remove work order from our sub-report. So we're going to have to select this and resize it if we can. There. I'm going to resize it, hopefully. There we go. We need to be able to see what we want to delete. It's always helpful. And so I'm going to actually give myself plenty of room here. So work border in the page or report header, I'm going to shift and click on the text box, and then I'm going to delete. And then I'm going to select all of the remaining labels and text box controls. And we are just going to move those to the left. And I'm going to select my sub report again. Now that I've fixed this, I'm going to resize it. Then I'm going to resize my detail section. And I'm going to save, and then I'm going to go take a look. And I can even make that sub-report smaller. So let's go back into Design View. And temporarily, I'm going to make this bigger so I can grab the bottom handle and drag that up. And let's take another look. And at this point, I think that looks pretty good. I mean, we might be able to make it a tad smaller. Oh. Go into Design View, or even move it up a little bit. This kind of comes down to personal preference. So let me save this. We'll take another look. That's about as good as it's going to get. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and save and close the report.